Sorry to ruin your dreams.
Wow, that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to Platinum Explosion, the very first episode of 2019, although we are recording on the 31st of December 2018. And to join me for a very special episode, Ciaran Marchant.
Yes, it's me. I'm here to take my lickings. Ashley's like, man, I'm going to be wasted by 3:39 on the 31st, so can't record, guys. So I stepped in. I've got to take my beatings from 12 months ago, so here we are.
If you didn't know, everyone, I got the date wrong before, but that's fine. There was an episode 42 of this very podcast called The Great Trophy War of 2018, the description of which says, Dylan and Ciaran have platinum goals set for 2018. Who will live and who will die?
Wow!
I'm like, I'm starting the year at 120 platinums. I'm going to reach 160 nice platinums by the end of the year. Ciaran comes in. He's like, I'm not a trophy hunter, but I'm going to set one. Steps up to the plate, ladies and gentlemen.
I do indeed.
Steps
Bring
up
in
to the
all
plate.
of you.
You're at 120.
So what's yours total? So yours is 49 plats. This
49 plats this year. I've already got 10.
You already got 10?
Today's not a normal show. It's just like we're just going to talk about a bunch of trophies because there's fuck all else happening. And we've set trophy goals. And the show's called Platinum Explosion. We're going to spend today talking about trophies. If you don't care, come back next week. I set a goal, which was to reach 169 nice platinums by the end of the year. Now, behind the curtain is, as of recording at the moment, at 3-something o'clock on the 31st, mere how many hours, 6 a.m. tomorrow this comes out, when everyone's drunk, still wandering home. I'm at 168. However, I'm so close to my final one that I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried about reaching that goal, although it is somewhat scary to be on the final day approaching it, and I would be very ashamed if I hadn't have reached it. So I set a goal for 169, which is 49 platinums in 1 year. Now, I'm going to go through them all shortly because it feels like the right thing to do after setting such a goal, and we'll go through them. And to be honest, most of them are pretty shitty, easy platinum. So if you're looking for a list of good ones to go for, this is going to be a good episode for you to listen to get some tips from. Ciaran set a goal of, what was it? 20?
I wanted to do 25 platinums to get me to 30 because I was on 5 when we started this.
And you got to?
I got to 10. I doubled it.
Not a bad effort, but I do feel like those 5 happened in a week and then nothing else happened.
Yeah, I think there was like a solid couple weeks of me being like, I'm gonna do platinum hunting streams. I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna get platinums. I'm gonna do all this stuff. I think I have games that I bought specifically to platinum that I never went back and did.
I'm not surprised.
Because I remember it was right around this. Was it this time? Must have been this time last year where PlayStation had a sale, and I went a little nuts, being like, "Oh, this is an easy platinum. This is an easy platinum. I'll get this, and this." I did 5 of them. And then I also remember
they were. I haven't got anything open.
So I did Day of the Tentacle. Mm-hmm. I did the Order 1886.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I really liked that game. That game was awesome.
Yeah. Well, look, let's take a side step on that real quick. Now that you've experienced a whole week of platinum trophy hunting, you now know that one thing that sometimes you do get from it is you discover games that you may not have even bothered trying.
Exactly. Discover games that many, if you look online, a lot of people go, it's pretty much a movie that you play through, but I don't think I've ever said, I don't think I've really seen anybody say it's a bad story. I think everybody is positive when it comes to the story of 1886. So if you haven't got the platinum, look, I've got the platinums. Why the hell do you not have the platinum for that? Sit down and play. It doesn't take too long. I can't remember any of the other games I platinumed. No, maybe I do. There was another point and click one there, I swear.
There was the motorbike one. What's that?
Oh,
called?
yeah, there's full throttle. Full throttle, that was easy.
Didn't you
Another
stream
fantastic
it, or
game,
did
though.
I just think that?
No, I streamed full throttle because I did it in one and a bit streams. It was super easy, except for like one car puzzle that really annoyed me because its controls were terrible. So that's what I've listed. That's 4. I can't remember what the 5th one was.
Getting your thing up on my phone.
Getting my thing, the dusting the
now.
cobwebs off.
I won't have to scroll far.
No, maybe like the top. No.
All right, so I can see Full Throttle, The Order 1886, Day of the Tentacle Remastered. All those are plats. It's also interesting you have 40% on Minecraft Story Mode here, which would have been a plat if
I kept going with it.
kept
You know
going.
what? I blame Minecraft Story Mode on the setup for Minecraft, on how the story is set up for Minecraft Story Mode that I didn't like, and it made me fall off the bandwagon. So we'll go back to that one.
Okay. You got the Undertale plat.
Oh, that's right. And I never finished Undertale still. I got the plat and was like, I'm done.
Fucking hell. You're worse than me. Then you got the Batman the Enemy Within plat.
That's it. Right. Yeah, no, there's like...
was
So
your collection.
I've looked at this. So, Minecraft, the main story or the opening story finishes on episode 3. And then I was like, oh, okay. What's the next couple episodes? And you say good things about them, but I was like, eh. And then, so, to pull the curtain back, everybody, I was talking to Dylan about this and everybody in the Explosion Network last night while we were having a couple of drinks, that like my opinion, or not my opinion, but my viewpoint on gaming has changed so much in 12 months. Like looking back 12 months, I was like 100% like, I'm going to be a console gamer. I'm going to play a crap ton of PlayStation. I'm going to stream it all. We're going to get platinum trophies. I said I was going to platinum Horizon. I was like, I'm going to do a bunch of easy ones, but then I'll also platinum Horizon. So there's one I can be like proud of. I was in a different headspace. Like it just sounds like a different person. Like, and then I fell in love with Overwatch, and then I don't leave my PC and my PlayStation. I think my PlayStation is unplugged right now. It's really bad to say that it is not even plugged in right now. Because I keep meaning to get it so I can actually finish some games. But yeah, like so much has changed that my mindset changed for playing platinuming games and stuff, and it was weird. It's very funny. It's interesting how 12 months can change everything.
It's very funny.
I think it's amusing. You know, it's like that. It's very amused. Michael, friend of the show, tweets about the Great Trophy War, and every time he tweets, a little part of me cringes because I'm like, oh god. That was a thing I said I'd do. That was a thing that I was really into and really interested at the start of the year. What happened? I'm letting the people down, everybody. But then also at the same time, I'm a really good Widowmaker player, so I'm okay with that.
You should have got the Overwatch plat on PS4.
Yuck. I could not imagine playing Overwatch on console.
Plug a keyboard in.
No, because it has lag, doesn't it?
Probably, yeah.
I think there's like input lag because Xbox has full keyboard and mouse support, and I was like, wow, that's broken. People in Fortnite must be getting dominated by keyboard and mouse, and it's like no, because there's input lag. It's like, that's crap. That's okay, fair enough. I'll stay on my PC.
Well, so your punishment for failing to reach your goal.
I didn't even realize there was a punishment to this until bloody Jaden Pryor
kept evidence. In fact, I'd even forgot there was a punishment.
I'd forgotten as well. Like,
that's why we have people like Jaden, you know?
Yeah, he just remembers everything. I love you, Jaden, you piece of...
So I was going to try... The punishment is that Ciaran has to stream whatever game I pick. Now, I was trying to think of something really, really bad, obviously.
Yep.
Now, I couldn't quite make up my mind. And I do have time, obviously, because we're about to... and I'll cover this at our holiday period at the end of the show, but we're about to take a couple of weeks off at the Explosion Network. So, obviously not going to happen anytime soon. I've got time. I will put it out there for anyone listening to this, and I'll probably put out a tweet as well asking for suggestions, but I am open to crappy games for Ciaran to stream. Because, and then the only thing we are locking the time slot of, it's like how long. I don't want to go too harsh, but you don't want to just say, half an hour, because that's not really a good thing. If we get a really good crappy game that you can finish in like a couple hours, then it'll be good, because then we'll have to be like, well, Ciaran has to stream it until completion. So
that's I don't what.
Just throwing it out there. If you've got any crappy games that you'd love to see Ciaran play on stream, tweet them at me at Vivaldil, VIVA.
What's that game everybody's hating on right now? Celeste? I'll play Celeste if I have to.
The game everyone's hating on. Them's be fighting words. Is what they are.
Come at me, boys.
You can look forward to Ciaran streaming whatever crappy game we come up with. I might just have to go Googling for lists too. Worst games on Steam. Give me the...
Oh. Wait, shouldn't they be PlayStation? I'll play it on my PlayStation.
All right. Worst games on PlayStation. That's probably fair, actually. Yeah.
I'll play it on my PlayStation, and it limits to how crappy they are, because there's some dog turds on fucking...
There is no limits to how crappy it is. In fact, the crappier the worse.
Steam, your problem with Steam. Everything gets on Steam no matter what. PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. No, we shouldn't have that on PlayStation. There's no weird...
There's there could be some,
there's some really bad games, and I've played them, and we'll go over them in a second when I go with my platinums, but there's no bad thematically themed ones.
Maybe the audience to choose out of your list of platinums. Or are they none that bad?
There is, but the problem is most of them are just like, the worst ones are really fast platinums. And I don't want you to just have to play something for 15 minutes and then have it over with. That feels like getting it off very easy. And you're getting a platinum out of it. So I'll have to find something that's really crappy and it's not even a easy game. And you'll have to stream it for, I don't know, a couple hours, I suppose. Seems fair.
Couple hours. Oh.
Yeah. At least a couple
My
hours.
accuracy will fall in Overwatch.
Yeah, well...
Oh no.
You'll be fine. So yeah, me on the other hand will be achieving that goal. The only reason, if you're listening to this and you check my profile and it says 168 platinum still, not 169, pretty sure I've died or my house burnt down, my PlayStation blew up, because at this stage I'm so close to the last platinum, which I'll get to at the end of the list here as we kind of do them in order of the 49 or 48 and a half currently that I've got. It should happen. But here we go. So I started off the year, and look, this is the other thing. I did have the first one, which is South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Went over this before. I had one trophy left on when I was playing it on like the 30th or 31st of 2017. I had one trophy left to get, and I just left it off. And so I could pop it on the first to count it in this year. But I didn't feel bad about doing that because my goal was not a set number. It wasn't like get 50 this year. It was just reach a certain number. So it didn't matter if I got it in 2017 or 2018. Either way, the goal is 169. It just felt cooler to start the year off with a plat on the first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the rules would be different if I'd said, I want to get 30 total in a year, because then I would have been cheesing it to line up a bunch at the end of the year. Or maybe that would have been smart. I don't know. Who makes the rules? Me. I'm the ref. So yeah, I got Self Fractured Butthole. The only thing, at some stage, I remember when I grabbed the plat for that, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll go back, because I got the code for the first one, the Stick of Truth. And I remember thinking, oh yeah, maybe I'll go back and play that on PS4 and get the plat for that as well, because I actually really I enjoyed the Fractured Butthole more than the Stick of Truth. So it kind of made me want to go back, but never happened.
Was it more the combat system you enjoyed more, or just the overall story, and because it was superheroes and not Lord of the Rings?
It was just a combination of everything.
Yeah, fair.
I like the combat a lot more in that one too, because it was the grid-based tactical element to
Final
it.
Fantasy Tactics.
I guess, yeah. Like very simple version of that. So it kind of stood out more, whereas the first game was just
Turn-based
combat.
you go. It's
Yeah.
my turn to slap you in the face. It's your turn to slap me in the face.
Yep.
Yep.
And that was some pretty funny superhero powers people had. I'll give them that. Now we get into some shit straight away. My Name is Mayo on PS4's next. Took me a total of 17 minutes, 25 seconds to get. That feels slow. Maybe I could step my game up on that one. Then I did 36 Fragments of Midnight, which is on Vita, because I already got it on PS4 the year before, which is basically a platforming game, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Like, you're jumping on stuff or whatever, and you got to run through the level, and you got to grab these 36 fragments, like star fragments, and then take them back to the started level without dying. It's basically what it is. And getting them all is kind of hard. Like, it was annoying me a bit, but I pushed through because overall, I mean, it took me a day, so it's fine. Then I did My Name is Mayo on the Vita.
Rest in peace, Dylan's Vita, by the way.
Yeah, well,
I'm excited to see when the Vita trophies die out on this list. Unless you've gone to the well to go get yourself some easy platinum.
There was a fairly recent one that I went to the Vita for. But I think you'll find as we go through the list, I think other than one game, other than one game on here, anytime I've picked up something up for Vita is just easy trophy game. Like I'm not picking it up to actually play. There's one game in here I got the plat in that I was actually wanting to play on it, but other than that, the rest is shit. So I got Steins Gate on the Vita, which is like it's a visual novel game, and you can pretty much just if you follow a guide, all you gotta do is just without even looking at the screen, you can just like press buttons to skip text or whatever, and then it'll pause at the right point. When you need to make drastic decisions, and you kind of look down, click on the one you need to, and then just blindly just click buttons again. So that was a good one. If you're a fan of Steins Gate, it's an anime now. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but then we got Guardians of the Galaxy, PS4 Platinum next, Telltale series, rest in peace, of course. Guardians of the Galaxy definitely wasn't their best series.
Was not good.
In fact, I would say now, looking back on Telltale, because we can as a whole, it may be my least favorite of all their series. And I feel like a lot of people would say Game of Thrones. But
yeah, no, Game of Thrones is my least. But that's only because of the restraints there were on the storytelling for Game of Thrones.
There was still one episode and moment in Game of Thrones that I enjoyed so much more than the entirety of Guardians. So I would put Game of Thrones above this. Because Game of Thrones had some original characters, and the moments of that story I enjoyed the most was the family that was kind of out, more secluded, and had the least going on compared to the other characters that were like in King's Landing and stuff.
Not the ones that went north.
No.
Over the wall. No?
No, it was the sister. There was a scene with. I mean, there's not really. Does anyone fucking care about spoilers at this stage? Who cares? There was an episode where the little brother, the brother or whatever, dies of that family who was going to be king by old fuckface from the show kills him, stabs him.
Ramsay Bolton. So that's like the first episode.
Yeah, and then there's that whole scene where they burn his body and this really cool song plays and all these sorts of things is happening. I remember thinking that moment was really, really cool. And that just stands out for that series for me. And then some of the stuff to do with his other brother who was across the way trying to get in with Daenerys and stuff.
Yeah, that's his storyline was the better of the two. The better of all the characters, actually. But I still, for me, that game was just too restricted by where they had placed it in the Game of Thrones series. And, like the big decision at the end of episode 1 was the same no matter what decision you made. Like, yeah. I
just think Guardians had more. Like they weren't going to do anything too.
The only thing that
crazy.
raises it up for me, and it's probably it's not even that great anymore now that I look back because it's just the stigma of Guardians of the Galaxy, but it had a really great soundtrack. I enjoyed the music, but that's because I'm a sucker for that kind of music.
It did, but the rest I wasn't a fan. Anyway, finished it of course for the platinum because I honestly couldn't even tell you how the whole series finished at this stage. I have no fucking idea, and I've done it, so that shows how much I really care. Next one I did Black the Fall PS4 side-scrolling puzzle, cool story. You can follow a guide to make sure you miss none of the collectibles, and if you follow a guide that doesn't spoil stuff and kind of just tells you where the collectibles are, then you can still enjoy the game's story and discover that as by yourself while still grabbing the collectibles. They're my favorite guides when people are able to write them for games like this and just tell me where the collectibles are in ways that don't spoil what's happening, because it means I can play them and still enjoy the story while not missing any of the missable collectibles.
Yeah.
Then next, I got Minecraft story mode here. Also, it's worth pointing out, I do have the 100%. So I did because I brought the episode 7, 8, 9, because I did quite enjoy it. I've still got season 2 to go back to and finish, which I
have you seen?
Should do.
I was confused, right? So on Netflix, there's
season
Minecraft.
1.
Is that season 1? But you just watch it. And
From what I'm aware, yeah, pretty much.
Interesting, because I kept seeing it, and it has like a little game controller on it, and I'm like, have they just ported that across? That's really smart if they did. They should do that with all the Telltale stuff.
I think that might have been what was going to happen, but it's not going to happen now.
Well, yeah.
Wah. But Minecraft story mode is really good. It's not a complete platinum that you can get just by beating the game. There's like 1 or 2 trophies, I think, that just require to replay a certain section and make a different decision and kind of... It'll take like an extra half an hour or something like that. So, a little bit more effort for a Telltale game. Whoa,
damn it! How dare they?
Exactly.
This is why they went under, because they made people go back and do choice-related trophies. Damn them!
Trophy hunters are fickle people.
They are.
Sure. Next one was Steins Gate Zero on the Vita. Some sort of fucking prequel or sequel. I can't remember. I didn't pay any attention, obviously. It took 3 hours, 36 minutes to platinum of me blindly mashing buttons and clicking on decisions that I needed to be made. Of course, I'm doing this while watching something or, whatever. Like, it's just...
listening to something. Or,
yeah. All right, so next one is the one Vita game that I just wanted to play for out of enjoyment's sake this year. The only Vita game I played for enjoyment's sake this year, but I also picked up the platinum at the same time, which was Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair, Girls, which is the spin-off third-person shooter, sounds weird to say, of the Danganronpa franchise. Wasn't super received well, came out a couple years ago at this stage, but I only played it this past year. I enjoyed it. Gameplay-wise, not super great. There's a bunch of collectibles and stuff you had to do. I had to farm up fucking kills for one of the trophies. Nothing super hard, but if you like Danganronpa, it gives you a bunch of lore, and the platinum wasn't super hard, so... Next one, PS4, 36 Fragments of Midnight. There's that game again. Now, after that, PS4, Mr. Masagi, when it finally came to Australians' PlayStation store, everyone was like, yes, finally, that fucking terrible game that I've heard everyone else talking about. It's basically a dating sim, and to get the platinum, you just have to follow a guide, just click on the right decisions in each date to get a successful date or fail the ones you need to or whatever. So, I mean, if that's what you're into, but either way, it's a very fast and easy, funny, I guess, for the time you're playing it too, because you're like, these are interesting characters I'm going on to dates with, that's for sure. Next one on PS4, The World of Nubla, which will come up again a really weird way, and I'll explain when I get to it. Took an hour and 9 minutes. You follow a guide. There's 4 or 5 levels. It's just like a side-scrolling puzzler, and the guide will just tell you where all the collectibles are you need to pick up. It's very arty-farty game. I don't really understand what the story of it is about at all, but there you go. Following that, Batman: The Enemy Within, platinum. That is a proper Telltale game platinum that everyone loves, of course. Platinum by finishing the game.
One of my favorites.
Giant
One of
tick.
my favorites.
And I think it's also got the highest... I haven't double checked, but I'm pretty sure it's got the highest platinum rate of all Telltale games, which kind of says that maybe if you want to go by that percentage, the most enjoyed, I don't know, because a lot of you may be like, why don't a lot of Telltale games have higher platinum rates? Surely everyone who starts them finishes them and gets the platinum. No, a lot of them have lower platinum rates, because if you look at the trophies for the first episode, they have really high rates, and then they drop off after episode 2 because a lot of people play the first episode of something and then or get it for free or whatever, and
or
then
they'll buy the season
off.
pass and then forget that they bought the season pass because they took 3 and a bit months to release another episode or something, you know. Like,
Possibly, yeah. But there's always a lot of drop-off rate, but Batman Enemy Within apparently saw the highest retention through to the end of the series. Next one, this is a really great platinum, and Slide took me 31 seconds to platinum. That's right, 31 seconds to platinum. It'll take you longer to boot the game up. Than to
I don't understand the platinum approval process where a game that can take 31 seconds to platinum gets a platinum trophy.
I have no idea. And if it was up to me, as much as I like grabbing these cheap free ones like that I wouldn't give them platinums, and I would give them to other games that I'm like, why the fuck doesn't this have a platinum, you know? Like, for example, when I was playing Jackbox last night, I'm like, I'd rather that have a platinum and this not have a platinum, you know? It just makes more sense to me. But
how to get Dylan to spend time with his friends? Put a platinum in a game that requires friends. Oh, I guess you would play that without friends.
I would just sync up a bunch of controllers and say, like, yeah. Well, I mean, when I needed extra controllers on PS3, I'd just be plugging in Guitar Hero controllers and whatever else for multiplayer games. Gotta do what you gotta do to get those trophies, yeah. But yes, Slide is a puzzle game. I can't remember the fucking word for it. So like where the pictures like jumbled up into like different like square or rectangle shapes or whatever, and you can't just move them around into the right things. But there's one I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly it. But if you look up the guide, it's pretty much go as soon as the game starts, go to this certain level, start it up on the hardest difficulty or whatever, and then just follow the quick. Like they tell you obviously where to move it to make the picture, and for whatever reason that picture covers all the bases for every trophy in the game, of which there's 11 gold, 2 silver, yeah, and it just pops them all. That's why it takes 31 seconds. So that's the thing that exists. It's out there. Next 2 in a row were Midnight Deluxe on PS4 and Midnight Deluxe on the PS Vita, which the PS4 one took me an hour and 21 minutes. The Vita one only took me 42 minutes. I did that second. I must have got the tactics down the second after doing it one time. But it's the same character from the 36 Fragments game, made by the same people. So for this one's like a golf game, I guess, like a sides golf game where you just hold down X and you kind of aim where it wants to go and it'll launch off, and you kind of just got to try and get it into a hole. So it's a lot better than the other version game. I'm not saying it's a great game, but at the same time, it is a game. Like it's a game. It's not bad. It's not great, of course. But it is a game. What isn't a game is the next 2 that follow, which it's not the worst thing I've played all year. However, I'm pretty sure it's the worst thing that I played this year that actually released this year, because I played worse stuff this year, but it didn't come out in 2018. But this is the worst thing I played all year that released in 2018, and that's Little Adventure on the Prairie. I got the platinum on PS4 and Vita. It took me 20 minutes both times. It is... I don't even know how to describe it. It's a side-scrolling game. You're a little character. You got a little wooden sword or whatever, and you're side-scrolling across the screen, and you got to, whack monsters to beat the levels. But it's like someone's test demo to try and pass level year 1 of game design school or something. Like, it has the assets are copied too. So like in the background where there's grass and everything like that too, pretty much it's like they created 3 in a row, like 3 sections of blocks and then grass below or connecting it. And then you can tell they've just kind of circled all that and then copy and then Control V across the rest of the level. So you can just tell like zzz, and it's all the way across the same. And worst hit detection for enemies. Enemies just, you can cheese them, you can just jump on top of the head, but you're not right on top of the head, but you're just kind of floating in the middle of space and you just whack away. It's absolutely fucking atrocious. But there was that funny story that came out early in the year where the person or persons that developed this game just pretty much admitted we were trying to work on a bigger game and we needed funding for it. So we whipped up Little Adventure on the Prairie in like a week or whatever, chucked it out there for $3.99 or whatever the price is, and a lot of people, myself included, obviously, brought it, and that helped fund their money back into the actual development game.
It's just a smart idea. Good job to them.
Yeah.
Put a platinum in it and they will come.
They will. That is a tried and true tactic at this point. The next one I played, I nearly wanted to give up on because I hated it so much. It's called Orc Slayer. It took me 3 days and 3 hours of hell after work. It is a first-person game where you got to slay orcs and stuff, but much like the previous game, the hit detection is horrible, sound effects are horrible. The last level, I couldn't tell if it glitched out or anything, but the boss fight just... I had to farm up these certain minion kills, right? It's like kill 500 of this type of enemy or whatever. And they all only spawn when you're fighting the last boss. So I'm trying not to shoot the boss because I don't want to kill it because I just want the enemies to keep spawning in that level that aren't the boss. And I'm just running around in a circle, just killing him. And I'm pretty sure I was doing it for nearly 2 hours straight or more, 2 to 3 hours straight, like while I'm listening to podcasts, just running around, shooting these fucking things. And I'm thinking, surely I've done 500 or whatever the requirement is for the trophy at this point. And I'm thinking it's fucking glitched out of me. And I'm so pissed off because up until that point, I had hated playing this game with a passion so much that I was like, oh, I'm just going to finish it soon. It'll be over. Everything will be okay. But, I thought it glitched. I was like, just fucking kill me now. I can't believe I'm going to have this sitting on my fucking PlayStation without the platinum at 98% or something. That was going to piss me off so much. But eventually it popped. I reckon I would have got to like 1,000 and maybe it popped the second time I hit the necessary amount or something. But fuck, I have nightmares about that game. That's one of those games, as soon as the platinum popped, I just like fucking Alt F4'd the equivalent on my controller and just deleted that shit off fast as fuck. Get the hell out of here. Next game was Reverie on the Vita. Oh, hold on. No, that's the second one. There you go. I forgot about Reverie. Reverie is a game I wanted to just play and picked up the platinum while I was going for it. So, really great game from New Zealand developers. Very Zelda inspired, top down. There's like 6 dungeons in the game. Each dungeon you get a new weapon and stuff, except for their like you get a yo-yo and fucking random shit like this. It's
Schoolyard Zelda.
It's funny. It's quite funny. Took me 16 hours, 16 minutes to platinum. So I'm pretty sure I woke up, started playing it for several hours before work, went to work, and then finished off when I got home. So rough estimate, probably takes you like 6 hours to do in a row if playing it or something like that. So easy peasy. If you like Zelda, it's a game. Also, it's out on PS4 now, which I may go back and grab at some point 2019 as well for fun because it's a good game. The next one I got was The Adventure Powers on PS4, which probably one of my favorite games of the year. Really, really fun, cute, funny. I mean, it's kind of in the title. It just reminded me a lot of the kind of humor and style of Adventure Time. It's not like ripping off its characters or its story or anything like that, but its style and the way it's like presents itself reminded me a lot of the TV
essence.
show.
It's got that feeling of it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for a start, the story is like Grandpa gets kidnapped by an evil villain at the start of the game. And you're like, oh shit, what? Holy crap. And then you get a giraffe friend who just like rides around with you and hangs its head out sideways with its tongue hanging out of its mouth. And then, the game is like a side-scrolling, or not side-scrolling, it's like 2D levels, but they're pretty easy and fun, but they're very colorful, got really great soundtrack. And then each level has like 2 collectibles to get, but they're not super hard to find. But yeah, it was probably one of my favorite games of the year, honestly. And it's also a really simple platinum that you don't really need any sort of guide to pick up or anything. So there's one missable trophy, which I didn't know about because I brought it really early and there was no guide for. But I just started a new game and I rushed to where it was. It took me like an hour and a half. Not that big of a deal. Plus I like playing the game, so I was like, whatever. It's okay. Next one, PS4, Inksplosion. The one that has a platinum titled Platinum Explosion. So obviously the best platinum of the year, named after this show for sure. Definitely. There's no way it's not. No coincidence.
Thanks for putting that in, fans of the show.
Yeah, thank you. Did that one in 35 minutes, 2 seconds. Very twin stick shooter. Very simple. Next one was Puzzle Showdown 4K. It took 2 hours.
4K. Oh.
It is as it sounds. It is a puzzle game where the images are in 4K.
Wow.
And yeah, if you got to beat a certain amount of puzzles.
This
Very
is why
simple.
Dylan bought a 4K TV. Everybody,
Just for that game.
Just for that.
game. There's
He's
no
like,
way I was.
boy, can't play this without a 4K TV. Better grab one.
I'm a real trophy hunter. If I'm going to play crappy games, I'm going to play them the way they're meant to be played. You know. Next one was Super Destroynaut. Fuck, I don't even know. DX, which is on PS4, took 22 minutes. It's basically just Space Invaders. That's how to sum it up. Very easy. Following that, Walking Dead, New Frontier, PS4. I played through that early in the year. Well, streamed all that as well. Twitch.tv/Explosion Network, of course. Streamed that old one to completion. Getting ready for the last season of Walking Dead. Little did I know at the time. But yeah, that's a very easy Telltale. That's a proper Telltale list. Just beat the game and you'll get a platinum out of that one. The game, I'm not that big of a fan of, though, unfortunately. Following that, Donut County took me 2 hours, 23 minutes to platinum. Very easy. Most of the trophies are either just for playing through it and you'll get a bunch, and then there's random stuff that just reading the description you can be like, oh yeah, I'll just go to this level and I have to like suck this, like there's one that's like suck down everything but a radio or something like that, you know. So it's just like once you read the descriptions you understand what you need to do. Next one I got Gardens Between, PS4. Really easy. Also probably one of my favorite games of the year.
It's a very cool game.
It's a great Australian game. Also, really cool. But the trophy list is also very, very, very simple. There was one trophy that had me stumped, and because I had I got given a review code for that one, that I was like, fucking hell, there's no help system here. I just had to wait for it to come out for people to figure out. It was annoying me because I
had to branch out a bit.
Yeah, it was
after being stumped.
Make it too hard. I wanted to be first on the list of trophy platinums on that. I think I got like the top whatever it is, but I did get to be number one. I was like, fuck. Following that, I got Jack and Jill DX on the PS4, which took a total of 16 minutes. Probably one of the easiest and best platinums you can get that came out this year because it has 11 gold and then a platinum. So you just get a fuck ton of golds and then platinum in total of roughly 15 minutes. And also, I don't think it's a bad game. Is the other thing. It's got a very easy list, but it's not a bad game. It's fine. Following that, I got Full Blast PS4. That's a vertical shooter, like you know, like it's top down. You're like moving left to right, up down on the screen, whatever. Like ships are coming at you, people coming at you, shooting them. But you got to play 3 levels and you get the platinum. You don't need to beat the game. Just play 3 levels, easy peasy. After that, Tetris Escape PS4. It's a puzzle game. Follow a guide. Took me an hour and 20 minutes. Easy. Next, Jack and Jill DX Vita. 10 minutes because I got that system down from doing it on PS4 already. Then on Vita, Super Destroynaut DX. 17 minutes. Once again, same thing. And then Vita Full Blast. So apparently this was Vita cleanup night. Then I got Spyro. The first Spyro game, platinum. 22 hours it took me. And 22 hours and 40 minutes. And everyone was like, holy shit, Don, you did that so fast. I'm like, it's like a 6-hour platinum. You could do it in one day.
Yeah, no,
really.
I was going to say 22 hours sounds like a lot.
No, well,
Wait,
that's how long from the time it takes.
Oh, when you started to when you finished.
Yeah, so I've started it, taken a break, gone to work, and then done it later.
No.
And it's like 22 hours from the moment I've turned it on.
And it's not even like it's a game that anybody really had to wait for a guide to do because...
No, fuck no, I didn't need a guide.
Like everybody's just like, it's just Spyro, man. Like,
I still remembered where half the things were. The hardest thing in that game is the treetop village or whatever the fuck that level's called. The hardest thing is that level because you have to like run off those ramps, do 180 turns in the air.
Some of the jumps are really fucking weird.
Yeah, but I remembered how to do all that sort of stuff, so I'm fine. That's the only thing that I feel like most people look. That plus the flying levels are the only things that would hold it back from being so piss easy. It's basically everyone could platinum that. But I could understand if some people were like, I can't do those flying levels, like the They're still like the controls are better, but it's still
it's still bad. Like it's still twitchy.
Yeah, it's still a little bit off, so I can understand why people might struggle with it. Following that, I got Stormboy, PS4 Platinum. Took me 19 minutes. Very easy. So easy that I was waiting for this very show to render, I think. And because I was waiting for that to render so I could upload it, it clicked over past midnight. The game went up. I brought it, platinumed it, and I was like, fuck, this fucking episode of Plat's still rendering. What am I going to do? I was like, all right, I'll just make a platinum guide for Stormboy. So recorded that, edited it, then got that rendering, Plat finished rendering, got that uploading, then uploaded the platinum guide. I was like, all right, cool, go to bed. It was a thing.
That's
Random.
just dedication there, people.
I was like, what else am I going to do? I'm just sitting here a bit bored. Following that, Marvel Spider-Man, of course, one of the best games of the year, Platinum. Only at 85% on the trophies at the moment, which is one thing that always annoys me when I get Platinums and the overall percentage drops down so far. I'm like, fuck off.
So you've only done one of the DLCs, or have you done...
I've done 2. I'm yet to do...
Two? So the last one's the last 50%.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, plus there's 2 trophies for New Game Plus.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they added new. That's why they added New Game Plus for free, of course, and it wasn't even a DLC you had to download. It was just a game update. But they added a trophy for beating the game on the harder difficulty that they had, Ultimate difficulty or whatever the fuck it was called, and then I added a trophy for beating New Game Plus. I've started New Game Plus on that harder difficulty to fuck around to see what it was like. I'm like, yeah, maybe one day I'll go through, play it again on that hard difficulty. I just skip all the side quests and stuff. I'm pretty sure the game would only take like 6 to 8 hours if you ignore all the side stuff. Then after that, I got Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight plus Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight Platinums. Both I consider easy. As I've said previously when I've talked about these, because these last ones I've talked about more recently, of course, on the show. But as long as you're not terrible at dance rhythm games, they're easy. If you're someone who's like, my mind cannot work rhythm games on like at all, then the game will obviously be quite hard for you. But the trophy list, considering they could have made it way harder, like beat all the levels on the hardest difficulty and all that sort of, it's not even any of that. So it's fairly easy. Following that, I got Square Boy vs. Bullies on both PS4 and the Vita. One day after another. I'm pretty sure from memory I did them both. Yeah, I did them both while watching a movie too. That was both like movie games because they took an hour and a half roughly. The PS4 one I stopped and started again, but they took about an hour and a half roughly. I'm like, oh, that's movie time. Like, I can just fucking knock out this game because it's basically a Streets of Rage game. You just like walking across, you fucking mashing buttons. I'm like, oh, whatever. Then I got Inksplosion on the Vita finally. I was like, fuck, I better get the second one of that. And then I got Nebula on PS4, which is the exact same game as the one mentioned before called The World of Nebula, but this one's just called Nebula. And I have no idea why they're both on the PlayStation Store under different names and both have completely separate trophy lists, but they are the exact same fucking game.
Did you know they were the exact same going into it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it'd be much funnier if you'd bought it.
I knew because I'd seen people like on the internet, people like, these are the exact same games. I'm like, okay. And when I did The World of Nebula early in the year, and I saw this Nebula one was just on sale at some point, I was like, well, I've done it once. Fuck it. All right, I'll do it. Sure. And at this point, because this was done on the 14th of December, at this point, I'm like, give me stuff I know is quick and fast. It's an easy.
How much of a sprint was it?
Well, I mean, look, I still have one to go, and we've only got the couple, 9 hours left in the day or whatever, 10 hours. So it's a sprint. Next, went to the last streak here. Then I got Hex Tunnel Touch on PS4, which is one I talked about on this very show early in the year at some point and said, fuck that game, I'm not going to platinum it. Its controls are hot garbage. But as I think I talked about a couple of weeks ago on the show, if you go in, you can make it easier. And obviously it made it easy enough that I changed my mind and was like, actually, I can platinum this now. You can make it easier by going into the controller assignment settings on your PlayStation, not in the game, but on your actual PlayStation. And you have to change it so like L2 and R2 does what plus up, down do or something like that. Basically, so you can use the numpad directional buttons because it wants you to use L2, R2 to go up and down. So like L2 to go down or whatever, and then R2 to go up, or whatever, however it works. Because it's like a first-person game where you're basically floating through a fucking Windows Winamp music level of crap happening with some like high techno music playing, and there's objects just floating in your way, and the whole idea of the game is you just go dodge them. But it wants you to use L2, R2 to go up, down, and then it wants you to use the touchpad on the PlayStation controller to swipe left or right to go left or right. And you can't change the touchpad stuff. You have to put up with that. But if you change in your PS4 settings that L2 is now up on your controller and R2 is now down on your directional pad, it does make it a lot easier using those, because my mind would always be like, is L2 up? Is R2? Like I was just fucking struggling around that, plus the stupid fucking swiping of the directional pad. But anyway, I did that one. Devious Dungeon on Vita is one I grabbed here, and I'll mention this now. So I done Devious Dungeon on Vita. Devious Dungeon on PS4 is the one I'm currently nearly at the end of the game. Nearly there for my 169 platinum. But I've already done it once on the Vita, and that's why I know that I'll be fine from where I am. It's fine. I'm in the home stretch kind of thing. I did the Way Out. I got the platinum for that. Buddy the other week messaged me. Buddy Watson, friend of the show, of course, Dash Culture. He was like, "Hey, are you gonna grab that fucking Way Out platinum at some point?" And I was like, I mean, yeah. Do you wanna do it? He's like, yeah, I'll just buy it again. Tell me what day we'll buy it. I'm like, well, I can do it tonight if you want. He's like, all right, I'll buy it again. We knocked it out that day, and I'm pretty sure he just took the game back.
What does he mean buy it again? Did he trade it in or something? He must have took it back, right? Physical media.
Who can say? Who can say for sure?
Physical media.
It was physical media, that's for sure. But yeah, so I picked that up. Got that one out of the way. The remainder of the trophies I have for that were pretty easy. In fact, a Way Out game, you can finish it. Like me and Ciaran, of course, played through on Twitch earlier in the year, and I just looked at your trophy percentage when I was seeing it then, and yours was basically what mine was, and we both had around 30-something% when finishing it. But those remaining trophies you need if you just play through the game without paying attention to trophies, which of course is the way to play it because it's a really good game and you just want to play it. But the remaining trophies you need are basically all from certain levels, like the more open up ones.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, remember the one where you go play baseball and stuff like this? A couple other trophies in that car park, in that trailer park to do there. Like it's any of those, like the hospital level, there's a couple of different things you can do there. It's basically in the sections of the game where it's more gives you a chance to fuck around before getting back into the actual story moments. Yep. So yeah, cleaning up the trophies is actually quite easy, and it only took us like hour and a half probably to grab the rest of the ones I need. It was fucking easy. And then the last two I've got here are both games by Palgi or Pogi or whatever. They just basically make word search type games. So one of them is Word Sudoku by Palgi, and another one was One Word by Palgi. And so obviously one's a Sudoku game, the other one's a game we have to look for a quote by a certain celebrity or famous person. But of course you can use a guide to find all the answers, make it very easy. But I did these both by watching TV, just knocking out what I need to do. Because I put on like a TV show or something like that on my TV, and I use the whole like multi-screen settings, so you can have one HDMI source next to the other HDMI source, you know? Yep. And so I'll be watching something on the other end, and then I was just playing these with my laptop open with the answers. With the answers next to me. And then what is going to be 169 following that very shortly is going to be the Devious Dungeon PS4 Platinum. That will be 169, and then I will feel like I have let no one down this year and achieved my ultimate meme-ness, which is achieving 169 Platinums.
Do you retire your account after 169?
Fuck, maybe. I mean, that's the problem. As soon as I get 170, it's like, well, that was fun for a while. It did say 169 for a while.
Yeah.
I have to get to 690 something.
You're just going to have to leave like do a whole bunch of games, but leave like the last trophy on each one. And then when you can get to like do it as like, you know, the next good number, like
269.
No, I just think you have to make it to 200 without going over 169.
Yeah, okay. That's probably not going to happen, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, no, fine.
So that has been the Great Trophy War PvP.
Was it a great war? Was it?
It wasn't. It was a horrible war, but
it was like one side kind of gave up and started fighting a different war with talking monkeys and hamsters that roll in balls, and and you just kind of kept fighting a war on your own.
Well, I mean, the battle was always with myself, really.
It really was. It was an internal struggle. But imagine if you bought a book and the book was called The Great War. And like the start of the book, it's this awesome battle scene. There's like real life, and then you realize the rest of the book is metaphorical, like internal battles.
That was my 2018.
Yeah, that was your 2018 right there. If you want to write a memoir of the Platinum Explosion, anybody, that's the whole synopsis right there. And then the guy from the first war comes back at the end of the book and is like, "Wait, you're still going on this? You should like move on or go outside."
So, I think there's only one question to ask as we wrap up this special episode today, Ciaran. What is your platinum goal for 2019?
No. I'll surprise myself with that. Ask me that at the end of 2019, what my goal was, and we'll tell you. Probably going to be 0.
I'd like to shout out to Nicholas Pryor, of course. He set his trophy goal at 0 and thinks he's doubled his goal by achieving 1 this year. I would like to point out
2? Didn't he say 2?
Maybe he's up to 2 now, but I'd like to point out mathematically, 0 doubled is in fact 0. So by achieving 1 or 2, you have failed.
I wish Ashley Hobley had been a dark horse in this, it's impressive for me. It's impressive he got the Fallout Shelter trophy.
He got a couple this year.
He did.
But he never tried to throw any crazy numbers out there or anything like that.
He's a smart boy, that one. Smart fence-sitting Ashley. Well, Platinum Explosion Ashley is a fence-sitter, not Arcade Couch Ashley.
It's an angry Ashley.
He's angry. Very angry.
He's up to 7 plats. I wish you'd... just saying, Ash, if you're listening to this, which I hope you are, I just want you to know you should set your platinum goal 2019 to reach 10 platinums. That would require you of getting 3. Total of 3.
Wow. Don't be over ambitious. Even though if you're over ambitious but it still looks achievable, just don't shoot too high.
He got 4 this year. I just looked at his profile. He got 4 this year. He got Spider-Man, Fallout Shelter, Donut County, and Batman. So underachieving next year if he only aims for 10, really. I suppose, really, as we wrap up the show, it's, hey, Dylan, are you setting a trophy goal for 2019? No, I'm not.
Never again?
No, not never again. Maybe 20, maybe 2020.
You should get to 200 in 2020.
Well, the thing is, I could just magically hit 200.
No, you should get to 220 in 2020.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I know, right? That's so funny. So your goal this year is to set up for that goal. Get yourself in a reasonable kind of, ballpark for 20. I think get to 180, 185 this year. Or 2019, well, when you're listening, audience, it is this year. Yeah. Get yourself to 100 and, and then give yourself good 35, 40 platinums to do for 2020.
That's not a bad idea. Someone remind me roughly in 11 months' time that I may want to set that as a goal. But for 2019, trophy hunting platinum goals are taking a break. As much as I enjoyed the meme and everything like that, I do not want to be pushing myself to play 1,000,000,001 horrible games just for the sake of a thing. And of course, if it was, I'm not saying it was super bad because if it was ruining my day, obviously I would have been like, I would just not do it because it's not really important. But at the same time, I'm just like, fuck, I just want to hit that. It's so funny. It's funny. I said it. I want to do it. Gonna do it.
I think I'm proud of you for following through with it, right? You could have just been like, this Ciaran chump's given up. Why do I have to push through? But, you did it for yourself. You did it for the people that were supporting you.
That's right. And because it's funny. It's funny. And I got achieved 1 goal this year. That I feel like every other goal I failed. So better fail the one that means better succeed in the one that means the less overall.
So you'll tune in tomorrow, guys. Tune in today to experience greatness and everything else.
That does not mean we will not be talking trophies on the show in
Nah,
2019.
Dylan's giving it up. He hates it. He's decided he's going to switch to achievements.
Yeah.
PlayStation show, but it's going to talk about achievements.
Fucking imagine that. We'll still be talking about trophies. I will still be going after platinums, of course, when they suit me. But there is going to be no massive goal in 2019.
Until he's like, guys, there's this really crappy game. Took me 10 seconds.
Oh fuck! If some games out and it's like, hey Dylan, there's a $4 10-second platinum. I'm fucking buying it, of course. Like there's no there's no ifs and buts about that. It's fine. Plus, as you said, I got to set myself up for this 2020 goal. It's the necessary one. All right, thank you for joining us for this. Necessary is what I'd like to think of it. Necessary conclusion to what we kicked off 2018 with. This is seen the end of it. It's the first of 2019. I hope everyone's having a great year so far. If you're not, it's probably because you just started the day by listening to this. You should have done something else first, to be honest, but that's fine. Mate, I hope your day gets better after this point, preferably. We will be taking 2 weeks off, so for the next 2 weeks following this episode, there will be no Platinum Explosion. We're back in 2 weeks' time. We're going to take a little bit of holidays. If you'd like some gaming talk, however, there will be an episode of Arcade Couch, our other video game show, dropping this week, not next week, but the week after as well. So there's like Arcade Couch is having 1 week off, but we are pre-recording our top 10 games, one that will be coming out in 2 weeks. Week and a half time, I think. Fucking maths is hard, honestly. Either way, we're off for 2 weeks, so enjoy all that. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to stare at my 169 platinums nicely and go, it was all worth it. For all
Play
this
us
stuff.
out. Play us out, boys.
Where can people follow you, Ciaran?
People can follow me at your boy Ringo on the Twitters. Tweet at me some of them examples of shitty games you want me to play.
That's right.
Stupid trophy war.
We'll come back in 2 weeks. We'll definitely be deciding what game Ciaran's playing. You can tweet them at me as well. Say hello at Vivladil.
No, don't include Dylan.
VRVALADIL. Of course, you can follow Explosion Network on Twitter at Explosion Pod. And make sure at the moment, if you're not already, check out all of our best of 2018 stuff over at explosionnetwork.com/best of 2018. And you can find articles for stuff going up at the moment, plus 2 podcasts per subject on the top 5 podcast channel. It's the one to check out. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
A wrap. I hope you enjoy. I'm quite enjoyed the fact that it took 42 episodes, and I finally did. With all fucking people, Ciaran. Of all fucking people, you were here for the full. It wasn't Thomas.
No,
because you would have thought, if I was like, if we made a prediction like Dylan, it's like, who would you think would be on the episode that is nothing but trophy talk? I bet you anything, everyone would have been like, Tom. And you would have been right. However, you're not right because it was Ciaran somehow.
Sorry to ruin your dreams.
So yeah, keep it locked to the podcast. We'll keep you updated